Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead. Today I'm going to make cranberry orange scones. Okay, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 4½ cups of flour, 3/4 to a cup of sugar. I use raw cane sugar. You can use white. A tablespoon of baking powder, and we're going to drop that right into our flour. 2 tablespoons of orange zest, 1.5 cups of buttermilk, 1/2 pound of butter, and 1 to 1.5 cups of frozen cranberries. I bought these fresh and just threw them in the freezer. Now, first, let's get our flour in here. All right, now we're just going to take our butter, and we want our 1/2 pound of butter to be chilled. And just like when I'm making pastry, we're going to grate the butter right into the flour. We want nice, big strips of butter in our flour, because just like pastry, you want the butter to melt while it's baking. You don't want it too heavily worked in. You want it to melt, and that makes it flaky. We're just going to shake in our orange zest, and we're going to toss it in the flour. This is zest from an organic orange, actually 2 organic oranges. Normally I would only put 1 tablespoon in, but I really want the flavor of the orange zest to work with the cranberries. So there we go. Let's toss our sugar in here. Now we're going to throw our cranberries in, and we're going to toss them because we want them kind of coated with the flour. Now you got to be kind of quick with this, because we don't want the cranberries melting before we get these in the freezer, because we are going to freeze them before we bake them. See, you can see the nice big pieces of butter in there. Now we're going to make a well in the center, and we're just going to start just like pastry, folks. We're going to pour our, I always reserve a little bit just in case. I don't want it to be too moist, because once this is mixed, you can't add more flour. We're just going to toss. You can always add more buttermilk. Now, some people will tell you to knead the dough. You don't need the dough. Well, you do a little bit, but you don't need it too much, because you don't want that butter worked into the dough. And there goes the other 1/2 cup. Like I said, it looks dry. It's really not. And we are just going to, we're not going to knead it. We're just going to press it all together. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? All right, let's get our cookie sheet. The wonderful thing about these scones is you freeze them uncooked. Then when you want to bake them, you just take a couple out of the freezer and you bake them. Don't worry that they fall apart a little bit. When they're frozen, they're going to be wonderful. Okay, there they are. All right, I'm going to pop these in the freezer for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to bake a couple off, because, well, I haven't eaten since breakfast and it's almost time for high tea. All right, these have been frozen, and yes, I went ahead and I made some blueberry lemon ones for Papa because he doesn't like the cranberry. So we're going to bake off 2 each. And what I'm doing is, this works really well. This is one of the reasons I like freezing the scones. I'm brushing some egg white on, and then I'm sprinkling on some coarse sugar. Now, of course, this is my raw cane sugar, folks. You can use whatever kind of sugar you like. But when they're frozen and you brush on the egg white, the sugar sticks beautifully. Now I'm going to pop these in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. Papa won't be giving you the thumbs up, but, well, maybe we'll catch him depending on how late he gets home. My, would you look at these. Okay, I'm going to have one of these because, well, I haven't eaten since breakfast and it's almost 7 o'clock at night. I've made 2 for me and 2 for Papa, and Papa's still not home, so let's have a look at this. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at the flaky, wonderful. I'm just going to put a pat of butter on there. Let's have a taste, shall we? Bar none, and not just because I made them, best scones in existence. Cranberry orange scones. Love them. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, it always tastes better when you make it yourself, but these are exceptionally good.